Key one to Stoic the page is an endless companion. Unforgiving yet patient, a silent partner that welcomes your thoughts no matter how contradictory or raw they may be. It doesn't care if you're frustrated, confused, or repeating yourself. The beauty of journaling lies in its freedom. You can pour your heart out, vent your frustrations, and it will never judge you. Just write it down. And in doing so, you begin a dialogue with yourself, a reflection of your own mind and soul. This isn't a one-time philosophical exercise you read about in a book and leave behind. No, philosophy is something you live, breathe, and practice every day. Journaling is one of the most effective ways to engage with your inner world, to understand your emotions, thoughts, and reactions. It's not about the size or depth of the entry, but the practice itself. You don't need to begin with pages and pages of writing. You can start small with just one line a day. A sentence, a quote, a reflection, something simple. That's the secret to creating a habit. Don't think of it as a monumental task, but as a small, daily act that nurtures your mind and spirit. When I first started journaling, it wasn't consistent. Like most, I would start and stop, unsure of how to make it stick. But something shifted for me when I began using a simple one-sentence-a-day journal. The idea was simple: write just one sentence a day. It became a part of my routine. Over the years, I've learned that stoicism and journaling are inseparable in my life. Journaling helps me process, understand, and grow through the lessons life throws at me. It's become a tool not just for reflection, but for practical, philosophical engagement. One of the best ways to start journaling, I've found, is to focus on the least amount of effort required to build the habit. Whether it's jotting down a daily quote from a Stoic philosopher or simply keeping a log of your workouts, start with something easy and consistent. The key is to make it manageable. Try the one-line-a-day journal, or the bullet journal, or even the 5-minute journal if you're just starting. The point is to start small and keep it simple. The wisdom of the Stoics encourages us to ignite a small spark and let it grow, just like starting a fire. It's not about forcing a huge change all at once, but nurturing the habit over time. By starting with something easy, you build momentum, and before you know it, you'll be journaling as naturally as breathing. As for my own journey, I've been journaling for over 35 years now, and it's become second nature. Every weekend, I sit down for 20 to 30 minutes and reflect on the key lessons of the week, both personal and professional. Sometimes, these lessons are born out of pain, and that's okay. Pain often births the deepest wisdom. I reflect on what worked, what didn't, and what I learned along the way. It's through journaling that I've come to understand patterns in my life. Patterns lead to wisdom. This practice has not only enriched my personal growth, but also influenced how I lead in my professional life. In my companies, whether at my boutique hotel or at the Modern Elder Academy, I encourage my teams to reflect on the biggest lessons they learned each quarter. We ask ourselves, what did we learn? And how will these lessons serve us moving forward? This regular practice of self-reflection and learning is something I've seen make a tangible difference in my life and in my work. Journaling is more than just a personal habit. It's a powerful tool for growth and understanding, both individually and as part of a team. It allows us to create a deeper connection with ourselves and cultivate wisdom that can transform not only our lives, but also the lives of those around us. So, if you're wondering how to start, remember, it doesn't have to be overwhelming. Start small, write a sentence, reflect, and over time, you'll begin to see the transformation. Key 1. Stoic in today's world, we've shifted from a knowledge economy to what could be called a wisdom economy. In an era dominated by artificial intelligence, where facts and information are abundantly available at the click of a button, it's wisdom that has become the true scarce resource. So, how do we cultivate wisdom workers and create environments where wisdom can thrive? The answer lies in fostering wisdom practices, the processes and cultures that allow individuals and organizations to learn from their experiences and share that knowledge with others. Take, for example, the leadership team of a company. They gather together, reflect on the lessons learned over the past quarter, and share them openly. This is no simple task. It requires vulnerability. When one person admits to a mistake or shares a failure, it allows others to learn without having to go through the same hardship themselves. In essence, wisdom is not taught, it is shared. It's about learning from each other's experiences without judgment and using that collective wisdom to improve as individuals and as a team. In our modern age, this kind of wisdom sharing is more important than ever. In fact, it could be the key to adapting to the rapid pace of change that AI, automation, and other technological advances are bringing to our lives. This concept isn't just theoretical. In Walter Isaacson's biography of Steve Jobs, he describes how, despite Jobs' incredible technical genius and access to the best tools and resources, he was unable to retrieve files from an old Macintosh. It's a striking contrast to the journals of Leonardo da Vinci, which are still accessible after hundreds of years, long after the technology that Jobs relied on has become obsolete. This example shows us the limitations of technology and the enduring value of written thought, especially in physical form. The journals of Da Vinci and others provide us with a window into their minds, offering lessons and insights that remain relevant long after their time. This brings us to another powerful lesson from history. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, who wrote his famous Meditations. This wasn't a book meant for public consumption or fame, like today's celebrity CEO memoirs. It was a personal journal, a way for Marcus to reflect on his leadership, his principles, and his personal growth. He wrote to himself, not for approval or recognition, but for self-improvement. As he says in Meditations, one must fight to be the person that philosophy try to make you. This daily practice of self-reflection and journaling was a powerful tool in his leadership, and it's something that we can all learn from. Journaling, for leaders, is a way to gain clarity and distance from the chaos of the day. It allows one to slow down, think critically, and gain a sense of control. As I reflect on my own journaling practice, I've noticed that each time I write, I gain new insights. Even though the questions I ask myself are the same every day, my answers evolve because I evolve. Journaling is a safe space where you can release your thoughts, examine your actions, and reconsider your decisions without judgment. It's a practice that helps me see things more clearly, whether I'm assessing my behavior or reflecting on my leadership choices. When I write, I often have moments of realization like, wait, that wasn't a good way to treat someone, or I'm being hard on myself for no reason. Getting these thoughts out of my head and onto paper creates a safe mental space, much like talking to a counselor. The words become external, and I can see them for what they really are. Journaling helps me to reset, think more clearly, and return to the world with a renewed perspective. This is why I believe journaling is such a powerful practice for leadership and personal growth. It's not just about keeping track of events or recording thoughts. It's about using the process as a tool for reflection, understanding, and wisdom. Just like Frank famously wrote, paper is more patient than people. In a world full of noise and distraction, the act of putting your thoughts on paper provides a safe and patient space for your mind to rest and grow. Key 1, does Stoic think about those moments when you're overwhelmed, whether it's with your colleagues, friends, or even that slow-moving driver in front of you. We all experience times when our emotions get the best of us, and we don't know how to let them go. But what if there was a way to release all that built-up energy without judgment, without pressure? The answer might be simpler than you think. Put it down on paper. The beauty of a blank page is that it doesn't judge you. It doesn't care if you contradict yourself, if your thoughts seem scattered, or if you're just venting. It's like a patient listener who keeps your secrets safe. In a world where we're constantly bombarded with external opinions and expectations, the page offers a refuge where you can unload, vent, and sift through your thoughts freely. One of the most powerful aspects of journaling is the distance it creates between you and your thoughts. When we're caught up in our minds, anxieties and stress can feel overwhelming. But once you write things down, they start to feel more manageable. The perspective it offers can be eye-opening. You may read something you've written and think, I don't even agree with this anymore, or I don't need to carry this around with me. What you see on the page can look very different from what it felt like inside your head in the heat of the moment. Journaling has been a tool of clarity and strength for centuries. For example, during the Cuban Missile Crisis, President Kennedy used journaling to work through the immense pressure he faced. His notes weren't for an audience. They were his personal way of processing and brainstorming under stress. This is the power of journaling. It helps you process, reflect, and work through life's challenges. Leonardo da Vinci understood the value of journaling as well. His notebooks, filled with sketches, observations, and reflections, laid the groundwork for some of the greatest works of art and science in history. Without those early jottings, there would be no Last Supper or Vitruvian Man. Journaling isn't just about recording thoughts. It's about creating, whether that's solving a problem or uncovering a new idea. The ancient Stoics were big proponents of journaling too. Epictetus encouraged us to keep our thoughts close, write them down, read them aloud, and reflect on them. This isn't a one-time exercise. It's an ongoing process of engagement with your thoughts, values, and principles. Marcus Aurelius, for example, wrote his meditations over many years. While modern readers might find them repetitive, that repetition was part of the process for him, a way to remind himself of the virtues he sought to embody, a tool for his own growth, not for an audience. So, what if we began to see journaling as more than a reflection on life? What if it became a way to actively engage with the ideas that guide us? Journaling every day doesn't require perfection. It requires consistency. When I started journaling, I didn't aim for long entries or elaborate thoughts. I simply focused on writing one sentence a day. The one line a day, journal became a habit that not only helped me build momentum, but also gave me a simple, manageable way to stay connected to my own reflections. If you're new to journaling, don't be intimidated by lofty expectations. The key is to start. Set aside a few minutes each day. You don't need to write for hours or make every entry profound. Start small. Try something like a workout journal or a reading log. Over time, journaling becomes easier, and you'll find yourself regularly reflecting on your thoughts and goals. It's about building the habit, not about making it perfect. When I wrote The Daily Stoic 8 years ago, I had no idea it would grow into a massive community of people engaging with Stoicism daily. It all began with the simple habit of writing one entry at a time, just like journaling. You don't know where small practices might lead. Journaling isn't about writing for an audience. It's about navigating life with more clarity, focus, and peace. It's a tool to help you take control of your thoughts and shape your life one page at a time. So, pick up that journal, start writing, and let the process work its magic. You'll be amazed at what unfolds.